Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship, aka the Velocity Banking Cult. Welcome to my cult brainwashing session where I'm trying to get you to pay me money and join my little cult. We don't drink the Kool-Aid, wink wink, except for the Velocity Banking Kool-Aid. Anyways, all right. So before we get started, I have a confession that I want to make. I want you to pay me lots and lots of money. Lots and lots of money. And I don't want to deal with you unless you're going to pay me lots and lots of money. Right. And the reason that I want that is because people who pay lots and lots of money are much easier to deal with. Much easier. you know, like the way that I make money is I deal with rich people, like really, really rich people. Much easier to deal with really, really rich people than people who are not rich. Right. And I used to make 20,000 a year, and I know what it's like to be at the opposite end. And I want to tell you something. If you're making 20,000 a year, you're at the federal poverty level and you want to get out of that, deal with rich people. Like do everything you can to deal with rich people who don't make a big deal about paying you, okay? And so one day maybe if I brainwash you enough, you'll eventually I'll eventually transform you into the $50,000 client because when I talk to you, you know what I don't want to hear? I'll tell you what I don't wanna hear, okay? I don't wanna hear, "I just feel as though with this investment I'm about to make in you, that we should understand how our lives are about to change, and I need results, and you need to bring them. I am entrusting you with their livelihood and lives." What I want is money said thanks, and I practice what I preach. Because nowadays, I can't even remember how much I spend on people anymore, and I'm always spending money on help, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always spending money on help. I'd say, "Alright, here you go. Money, here you go. I want the job done." I want the job done. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. Okay. A lot of people don't get the help that they need because they're the $500 client and then they scare away people who could help them. I want the $50,000 client. I've become the $50,000 client. I have. In fact, I will pay someone money that I know that they're going to do a worse job than me. And I'll be like so thankful. You understand that? See, if you don't, then you're not the $50,000 client yet. You see, that makes sense? And if it doesn't, then this is why you're here in the velocity banking brainwashing session. So you could eventually could give me money and become a $50,000 client because it's all in the attitude. It's not about how much money you have. It's not. But once you get to the point where you just pay someone $50,000, money sent, thanks, then uh, you're either rich or you're pretending to be, like me on YouTube. Anyways, all right, so let's go ahead and get started with our velocity banking cult brainwashing session. And why do I call it a brainwashing session? Because this is just a giant funnel for me, hopefully for you to pay me, I don't know, $20,000 on something. I don't know. Anyways, all right. So, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all of your money into debt with the help of something called a line of credit. Okay, a line of credit. Now, if you take a look at this picture, okay, this is my mortgage I paid off in 2 years and 9 months. 2 years and 9 months. Now, a lot of people look at this and say, "Whoa, that's so unrealistic." And I say, that sure is, because I asked ChatGPT, like, what percentage of people does this place me in? And ChatGPT said top 1%. I was like, definitely not realistic for 99% of people. Okay. So when did I ever say that this is going to be your results? Probably not. In fact, the more that you stare at this, because I'm the velocity banking cult leader, the more you feed my ego. Okay. Let's stare at this for 5 more seconds. Okay. You ever notice that like the more videos I make, the worse I get at teaching velocity banking? I have like over 1,000 videos on this channel for a sweet, sweet extra. $200 a month. Okay. $200 a month. And then, people are like, get to the point. Why don't you teach something? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like the Michael Jordan of this stuff. Who pays off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months? Okay. Anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and get started in velocity banking. First step is a budget. Okay. First step is a budget. Whatever you're talking about. I swear I'm not high, but maybe I'm high on life. That's the thing. Okay. Someone asked me if I was drunk. I don't drink. Although today I had like one of those coffee pods because on my Airbnb, I bought one of those Keurig coffee machines because someone said you should have it that guests would like. And I was like, all right. And then I tried one of those coffee pods and it was like pretty sweet, right? And like I'm wide awake. Actually, I'm not. I'm not. But yeah, Airbnb, I'm expecting 5,000 in July on a single family home in like, somewhere at the edge of Metro Atlanta. I was like, you could make this much money in a random place that's not like a tourist destination like the city of Atlanta or Savannah, Savannah, Georgia. Like I didn't know that, and to be honest, I feel like a giant moron for not doing Airbnb before. Like, you know what I was getting in rent? 2050 a month, and but then here's the cool thing too. My tenant paid me like I think 6 months in advance. My tenant, she was and the funny thing is that, she paid me 14 grand and she sent me a text message, "Thank you so much, we appreciate you." See, I'm trying to brainwash you? You see, like, these are the type of clients that are, like, my favorite. Like, I like people who do that, you know? Don't be a $500 client. Don't disappoint me, okay? Don't disappoint me. Join my Velocity Banking cult. Join it. Click the Google form link below. Anyways, all right. So let's stare at this for a couple more seconds, just to see to brainwash you the world I want you to enter. Right? We're dealing with 14, 15 grand checks like it's nothing. We're dealing with Airbnb stays, like 12, 13 grand like it's nothing. We're dealing with what am I dealing with? Oh, bank accounts where, 20 grand comes in and it's nothing per month. And, anyways, brainwash, brainwash, brainwash. So the first step of brainwashing yourself is making sure that you create a budget because it's a debt attack plan. Debt attack plan, okay? And the ultimate debt attack plan is essentially a budget. Okay, so here you have a budget, income, expenses, leftover savings, and then your expense breakdown. You list every single debt that you have. So we got 5 credit cards, 3 loans, personal operating expenses. Okay, and we got a cheap mortgage here, but we got an expensive student loan, 120,000. Where do we go? Law school? Mm-hmm. Law school. Anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and do this. Same income, same expenses. All right. And then zero savings. Oh, we're not going to save money. And if we take a look here, it's negative $279. And what we're going to do is increase our cash flow by moving some of our debt into a line of credit. Okay. Moving some of our debt into a line of credit. And so the first debts that we move on is going to be a credit card. But first, before I even explain that, let me explain what a line of credit is. All line of credit is the financial tool where you can borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again, right? That's all a line of credit is. And so, yeah, so I have like over 711,000. I think I actually have 740,000 in lines of credit, but officially I have 711,000 now because they're issuing me new lines of credit and, personal credit cards, business credit cards, personal line of credit. This was my new $14,000 personal credit card. I got like two 15,000 personal lines of credit. And, oh, excuse me. Ooh, what would I do? I'm just snorting, but it's true. I'm not snorting crack. Okay. I'm not snorting velocity banking crack. Even though I asked, Meta AI to draw me a picture of velocity banking crack. So whatever this is velocity banking crack. Anyways, all right. So let me go back here and I'm going to tell you the secret to getting all these lines of credit is that banks don't lend money to people who need it. They don't lend money to people who need it. So if you understand that, then that's how you get a line of credit. But most people don't want to understand that. See, the problem with most people is that they don't understand how banking as an institution works. So when they see that you need money, the bank just sees it as a giant risk because remember when your friends or family try to borrow money from you? Yeah, remember that? Yeah. The bank's like, whoa, this person needs money. No thanks, giant risk. Red alert, red alert, red alert, right? So they don't lend money to people who need it. But if you know how to uh, uh, do this strategy, we'll say, then this could be a lifesaver. And the whole point of this is me telling you, don't even get to this situation. But a lot of people just wait till the last minute. And it's like they try to get car insurance after they crash a car and then they didn't have insurance before. You know what I mean? That's how the bank sees you. Stop doing that, okay? This is me brainwashing you, kind of like some give it to you straight talk. Anyways, all right, so let's go ahead and do this and move some of the. We'll assume we have a $210,000 8.5% line of credit, and then you take a look here, right? So this is my $373,500 home equity line of credit. $373,500 in a home equity line of credit. Yep. I used to have a $280,000 line of credit, but now it turned to 373,500. Anyways, all right. So, yeah, tons of lines of credit, tons of money, debt paid off. You know, isn't that the type of cult you want to be part of? I would say yes, right? I really wish instead of my parents like saying, "Hey, go to college, brainwash yourself with this stuff." I really wish they told me that. Anyways, all right, so let's go ahead and go back here to this section. We're going to assume we have a $210,000 home equity line of credit at 8.5%. Let's go ahead and move these debts into the line of credit. So 30, 35, 12. And then I'm going to sum it up, and that's 119,000. So 119,000. And then guess what happens when we move these debts into a line of credit? This is going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then we literally, this is where the magic happens, went from $279 negative to $3,560.99. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's a good cult to be part of. Anyways, hopefully I'm brainwashing you in several assets of or facets of life. Brainwash, brainwash, brainwash. That's the name of the game, right? So let's go ahead and do this and get the next month's balance, the previous month's balance, previous month's interest minus our cash flow. So the final step is you put your entire paycheck into that line, satisfy the minimum monthly payment, and then lowering the average daily balance, right? Lowering the interest. And then you take your expenses out and then rinse and repeat over and over again. So the cash flow is the amount that your balance of the line of credit decreases by. All right, so let's go ahead and do this, and we see here. Whoa, look at that! That's so cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You know what's funny is like I kind of faking that it's so cool because like I've done this a gajillion times, right? And so it's like, whoa. Is it really that fascinating? I don't know. You know, you get to a point where we've done this so many times where it's like, oh, you paid off a mortgage in 4 years, and then like, you just have those eyes like that's it. I paid off mine in 2 years and 9 months. Was that gymnast who had those eyes? Was it Kayla Maroney? Kayla Maroney. Yeah, Michaela Maroney face, right? So here's the thing. Okay. Dang, she get plastic surgery? What's up with their huge lips right here? Okay. But anyways, yeah, if you tell me like, hey, um, what are you talking about? You paid off a mortgage in 4 years. I'll just yeah, whatever. Okay. Because I paid off mine in 2 years and 9 months. Anyways, I'm pretty sure you're sick and tired of me talking about that, but that's what I have to do. I got to brainwash you. Okay. 39 months. So 39 months to pay off all that credit card debt. So 119K, that's the milestone, right? And then now we got the three loans, car, student, mortgage. And then this is going to be 39, 39, 39. And this is a loan calculator that I created. Simple one with Excel. Excel has these payment functions that you can use, right? If you know what you're doing. And then you see at 39 months, this is the latest balance. So what we're going to do, we're going to use a cash flow index to help us figure out which loans to move into the line of credit. So if you don't know what that is, look it up on Google. Look up the explanation 187.65. And then what happens to the cash flow? $552. And then 4,101 something dollars is our new cash flow. And I keep telling you that the better I get at this, the worse I am teaching it. Do you know that? It's kind of like how in a university, the most senior professor is probably the worst teacher compared to like the TA. Because like they got tenure and they don't have to care anymore. 41 months. 41 months is when we've paid off the car loan. 2 months to pay off a car? No way. All right. So 41 months. And then so 119 plus 30 is gonna be 149K. And then okay. And then at 41 months, what's the amount of the student loan? So this is 0. This is 41, 41. All right, let's move this into the line of credit. So we move this 83 grand. And then we just do this right here plus 87,992.22.29. And then this goes to 0. And let's see how fast we can get rid of our student loans. You know how many people there are where it's like their student loans or they're like freaking out about it, or they're just like, I'm not going to pay. And then it's like, what's going to happen? It's like they're going to garnish your paychecks. All right. What am I even talking about? Anyways, so let's go ahead and do this and do this. And then we see that in 58 months, whoa, that's paid off. 58 months. Anyways, this is going to be 149 plus 120, 269K. And we're going to do that. And then the mortgage is going to be paid off soon. Man, this is going to be really quick. Maybe we should just do an Airbnb at this point, right? And then you can really pay off your home quickly. I mean, think about this, right? Like your average single family home, if it's a really good deal, only makes about $200 of cash flow a month, right? So let's assume your base rent is like $2,000 and you're only getting $200 of cash flow a month. Bro, look at this. I was making $2,050 a month. How am I getting 5,400? This is why like I'm banging my head. It's like I thought the Airbnb was gonna crash. And then I watched all these Airbnb like is crashing videos, and that's I said, you know what? I'm gonna start an Airbnb. I'm gonna start an Airbnb. 5,400. I am insane. I am what why didn't I do this before? Why did I just do a regular rental? Because I'm a moron, that's why. Except I'm a cult leader too, so you can't call me a moron. I can only call myself a moron. Okay, so time to pay off a mortgage at 58 months. So I just do 58 right here. And then this is going to be 0. And let me go ahead and pull out the Velocity Banking Calculator. Give me one moment. All right, so here's the Velocity Banking Calculator where I just got to type in some stuff. 178,607.1. Oh, sweet. All right. And then I think everything should pretty much be the same. In fact, let me just do this. This is going to be 8,700 in income, and how much expenses? 2,350. So your expenses are everything except for the loan you're trying to pay off, and we'll just do a $9,000 chunk. And then we see that it pays off in 2.5 years. Not bad. Is that better? Is that the same as 2 years? No, that's 2 years and 6 months. I'm impressed. Okay, that's the first time you hear me say impressed. And by the way, if you don't know where I got this from, learned this from something called Renatus. So, um, if you don't know what that is and you want to pay me money, click the Google form link below. Hopefully, I'll brainwash you to be comfortable with the idea that you pay me for goods and services. I know it's a crazy idea, right? I know it's a crazy idea, but that's how you get rich is you learn how to pay other people to do things for you. Wink, wink. Anyways, all right, but not guaranteed. Not guaranteed at all. All right. You know what's funny? I'll tell you something. Like when I was a teenager, um, I had a friend whose family had like I still know him, but he has like 6 BMWs in his family, like one for each member of his family, or is it 5 or 6, right? And so what would happen is that he would take me to Vegas for free in the most exclusive hotels. Okay. And I honestly thought, wow, like, if this guy's rich and he's nice, then the poor people must be richer because everybody telling me like poor people are so much nicer. And I'm gonna tell you who doesn't like me the most, people who don't have money or status. It's like such a different dimension of people. I swear, like people who have lots and lots of money and status are the only people who actually listen to me. Like, I'm not kidding about this. Like, I wish it was the opposite because now I could feel good about, like, my Robin Hood self, like, it's like, "Oh, I get to steal from the poor and then give to," or wait, "Steal from the rich." Isn't that what the government does? Steal from the poor? No, steal from the rich and then give to the poor. And then I found that in life because I will work with any demographic who comes to my door, that people who are really, really, really rich are probably more down to earth and will do basic things that a market economy demands, which is pay people for goods and services. Whereas people who are poor don't seem to understand that, even if they come into a lot of money. So, all right. So what's the point of me talking about this? Well, hopefully I've brainwashed you to be a $50,000 client, right? Because that's really who I am nowadays. I spent like $100,000 like 2 years ago, and then I spent $100,000 this year. I'm like, what am I doing? But then I just say money sent, thanks. So I practice what I preach. Now, I'm not saying I guarantee you any results. In fact, I tell you that you're probably going to lose money with me. You know what I mean? I don't guarantee you any results because it is what it is. I mean, if you don't believe you're going to make money, how am I going to change that? Right. All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. This is one of a series of brainwashing sessions. So hopefully, I've convinced you that you shouldn't listen to me at all. And I'm probably insane, and I'm making this all up. Like people, like literally put comments like, "You're just making this up. How can you do all this?" Like, all right, maybe you're right. If I hear something enough, I probably will believe it, even though like these are real screenshots, right? Paid off a mortgage in 2 years and nine. Look at this one. Got a $300,000 property for 200 at the peak of the market. With 2022. Remember when real estate was like so booming hot in 2022? I was like, "Can I get $100,000 discount?" They're like, "Yes, please." I was like, "Sweet." Sweet. But yeah, this is all fake. Don't worry about it. Like I didn't do any of this. This is just me photoshopping. Come on. Like how can you not tell that this is Photoshop? I don't provide any value to the internet or society. Don't worry about that, okay? So, this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship, aka the Velocity Banking Cult. No, I don't care to help people. What makes you think I'm going to do that? Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.